Hi again, everybody. So I thought I would share an experience I had um, when I was in year 8. And this pertains to showing to me that I existed in a past life. And I always knew all my life that there was a couple of memories that were very relevant to me. And it was, like many women, to do with the torture and murder of the witches in the era of the witch burnings. So I was born in England and moved to Australia when I was 8. And my mum, while she lived in England, she was really involved with uh, the 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 Wicca. I don't know, is it a religion? I don't know, whatever it is. Anyway, so we had a lot of books about witchcraft and different ceremonies and following of the seasons and the persecution as well. So there was books that I used to look through, and it showed a lot of the awful methods of torturing men and women, but mainly women. And anyway, I was at high school in year 8, and we were doing the witch burnings in Massachusetts, and we had to obviously write about, you know, the stories that we were reading and carrying on with all that sort of stuff. Anyway, the weirdest thing happened while I was doing that English. It was in year 8, and in my bedroom, I had a double bed. And so every night when I went to sleep, there would be this form next to me, lying on the bed next to me, and it was a burnt body. There was no hair. It was just the whole body was charred, and you could make out the body, but you couldn't. All the skin was just all burnt off. It was like little, you know, it was awful, but it was there every night when I went to bed in my mind's eye. And I wasn't afraid. And I just would kind of roll over to the other side, go to sleep, and I knew it was just right there. And inside me knew that, to me, it felt like it's coming back to me to be made whole. And yeah, so every night, and it was there for about 3 weeks. So every night I would just acknowledge that it was there. I didn't really want to face it. So I would just like roll onto the other side. And after about that 3 weeks time, it just kind of disappeared. So I'm imagining it got absorbed or came back into my body where it was acknowledged and held. So it was like a part of me that had been badly damaged. And I knew it was me. And I used to have memories, past life memories, flash in. There was one I had when I was in a cart, and I'd had my head shaved, and I was kind of bumping along. My hands and feet were tied. I'd been tortured, and I was going to, I don't know, I was going to whatever they were going to do to me, hang me, whatever it was, I don't know, burn me. But it was the cart ride through the angry mob, throwing things. And I was just a broken woman, and I could not there was no fight left. It was just absolute given up. I was just accepting that that was going to be my fate, and it was. And so, yeah, that was another memory that came back around in my 30s. That came back. Yeah, and it's been a very interesting journey with this, and my a lot of my fear in this life has come from, I think, those past life memories of being in that situation. So there is this huge distrust of authority figures, the church. I was repelled by the church, and I think I came into this life not in a religious family. I think my grandparents, I think they were like Christians, I suppose. Those I don't know, whatever it was. But my mum, she wanted to go into the witchcraft, which I think was part of acknowledging that for me as well, to be brought up in that. We weren't really forced to do it, but I loved going to the houses, and I was only a kid, I was about six, 6 to 8, and we'd go and hang out in London, where she used to go and meet her friends. And I don't know, I was asleep, so I don't know what happened, but it was a beautiful atmosphere, and I felt very safe amongst them. They were, obviously practicing white witchcraft, which to me it was a beautiful earth magic. So I had a real strong connection to nature, to earth magic, to, the moon, the seasons, honoring the cycles of the earth. So yeah, I thought I'd share that story because it really did have a big influence on just my whole upbringing. And a lot of that hiding that I was talking about is from that as well. I was petrified this life. I was terrified that I would be found and I would be tortured and my children would be taken away and my house would be burnt down. And so I spent most of my life under the radar, just trying to stay out of trouble, just keeping just that below the line, not stepping out of line, being enough of a, rebelling in my own way, rebelling against the system, which I had absolute distrust for, rebelling against the church, and acknowledging that spiritual side of me, which was very strong within me. But I refused to get there through the middleman. I was like, cut out the middleman. I am not going to source through some priest who might, torture me later. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I've done a lot of clearing with that, a lot, over the years. It's taken a very long time. But yeah, thought I'd share that with you all. Thank you.